unless you're feeling like particularly shaky or whatever, if you're able to go and you just feel that you're actually still mentally able to focus on things and not having the big drive for caffeine to pick you up in the morning. If you're somebody who is constantly fueling on caffeine and pushing out your meals, then you're hitting into somewhere where you're actually possibly going into an area of ruining your appetite and just running on stress and cortisol and all that kind of thing. So if you actually feel that you can get up in the morning, you're feeling refreshed, but you're not hungry, that's perfectly okay, because you may still actually have some fuel, in the tank from the night before, basically. Because I think I mentioned that before, your blood, basically that blood glucose reading that you might get if you like your fasting blood glucose, that's just like a fuel gauge. It's basically telling you what's in the blood at any given time. So it's giving you the indication as to the glucose levels, but there's also going to be some fats within the blood that's traveling around and being used up as fuel. So until you get the hunger signals, when you can truly tap into them, like the stomach starts to maybe growl a little bit, or you're just feeling that little bit, oh yeah, I need a bit of fuel. You'll start to engage with that. I think just push it out as long as you can, and as long as you feel able to focus. So like up to even if you can push to a 14, 16-hour fast is excellent overnight. Not everybody can go to that, and certainly not immediately. I'd certainly say for everyone across the board, if you could do a 12-hour overnight fast, that's phenomenal. So let's say if your dinner is at 7 p.m. and you can go till 7 a.m. the next day, that's perfect, because it gives your body time overnight to do what it needs to do and to rest and digest and do all those other functions that I'll mention now in a moment. But beyond that, if you can go 13, 14, 15 hours, that's super. But for a lot of people, that might need to be under medical supervision if you already have a number of underlying conditions, or if you have type 2 diabetes or type 1. Just get some clarification with your GP that this is okay to start to try and do a bit of, there's various names on it. So there's, it can be seen as fasting, intermittent fasting, or there's also what's known as time restricted feeding. So it's kind of the same thing, but just coming at it from a different angle. So as the name suggests, time restricted feeding is keeping all of your meals within a certain period of time during the day. So for some people that might be within a 4-hour window or a 6-hour window. So it depends on what way it works best in your head. Like if you wanted to say that you had your first meal at 12 o'clock in the day and then you had your dinner at 7 and that was it, then you could fit your food in within those 7 hours. So that works for some people, but you have to go with what works with your own body, and your body will let you know what suits.